So we're going to process that last activity in 2 steps. The first step is going to be in pairs, red-blue pairs, and then one group will have to have 3 because we have an uneven number of reds and blues. And the questions are the same as earlier. What did you learn about how the other side sees themselves? And did you find anything in common? Did you see anything in common? If so, what that was? So we're going to jumpstart the conversation by having people pair up. So it would be 2, 2, 2, and then 3 on the end, because we have a number. So for 3 or 4 minutes, could you just process that, get the conversation going, and then we'll come back and we'll talk around the table. No, this way. Turn your chairs. Turn your chairs. Turn your chairs. Okay, ding, 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 ding. Scouts up. Scout sign, scout sign. Scout sign. Okay. All right. So that was just a little jump starter for the conversation around the table. So again, the question for us, the 2-part question, what did you learn about how the other side sees themselves? And did you see anything in common? And if so, what was that? And who would like to start us off?
I'd be happy to start.
Okay.
The biggest things that I saw a lot of common ground was fiscal responsibility, looking at the big picture and calculating what some of the immediate ramifications would be of some policies.
So that's a good threesome right there. So hold your list. Yeah. So repeat those again.
Fiscal responsibility, looking at the big picture and some of the immediate ramifications of programs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Blue, next.
I think what we both saw was that our values weren't all that far apart in terms of what we believe. What we are far apart on, and there's this chasm, is how we both see getting to solving that. But as far as the basic values and what we believe about individuals, society, I learned that we're not that far apart.
Okay. Red, next.
I think I enjoyed the short conversation I did. I hope we have more. Is that we're completely different. That we didn't come to any company. Is that we both do. I mean, one of the biggest things I was surprised by is that we both, there is a responsibility for people taking advantage of the system. And maybe the slight tweak or difference is that what we both think is how much they're doing versus I think it's more so and less, but there's still that kind of common ground of we both admit, we come to that common understanding that there are people taking advantage of these programs that are out there. And that blew my mind.
That was a revelation to you.
Pretty much, I mean,
Yeah, okay. Blue.
Well, I love you all now because well, we have so much in common, and I agree. I think our values are very much the same. We love our country. We have a sense of individual integrity and responsibility that goes with it. The difference is in methodology. How far do we go? How big? How small? And how do we get there? But to me, this gives the encouragement that we can get there together.
Okay, Red.
Well, the quote of the day for me was what you said, where you'd like to see a Statue of Responsibility on the West Coast to counterpoint the Statue of Liberty on the East. That's brilliant. Like, in all this talk, what I'm seeing here is, both sides of us are constantly talking about the individual, and both sides of us are also talking about the needs of the community. And I'm seeing that there's so much opportunity for balance where both sides need each other because, one side does something better, one side does something else better. And seeing that here, it's like, wait a minute, these guys aren't, opponents, they're potential partners, and we disagree about the details. And, hopefully if we respect each other, we can work it out and both be better for it.
Okay. Blue?
I had no idea that you guys felt like you were on the offensive always. You're always trying to have to defend yourself against this, like, we don't necessarily believe in Trump, or we're more populist or we're more conservative, you know, and just the idea that it's so easy for us to just assume you all voted for Trump and you all believe everything he said and believes in, and that we've lost the fact that you're all individuals and you have your own beliefs and you're multidimensional. You're not just, you know, belief in one thing. So that was a real eye-opener for me.
So we can popcorn it now. Anybody who wants to say something, red or blue, you're welcome to.
Can I? Go ahead.
One thing I thought that was that interested me on a commonality that I think gives me some hope for both sides is somebody made the point that children today are colorblind, and I think that gives me a lot of hope.
I hear patriotism here. And my kids always laugh at me because my flag is out when it needs to be out, and I support troops and, you know, whatever. I am a very patriotic person. And I heard values being said all day today with the same kind of patriotism from both sides. And that, you know, I've been to 2 countries where patriotism really happens, and it isn't here yet. One is Iceland, and the other one is Israel. If you want to see what patriotism looks like and love of country, those 2 places are exemplars of what that looks like. But I do hear it here with us, and that's very encouraging to me.
Anybody else want to get in on this part?
I think another thing that I find really encouraging is that both sides want more accountability with leadership. That we feel like we have people above us that don't always voice what we feel and what we care about, and that we both want better for that.
And we elected.
One other thing I wanted to bring out, even with the media here, is that I think what I heard articulated on both sides was this, like, it's so easy to just rush and join our bubble. And to some extent, the media, you know, we hear it on the news or we read it in the paper, and then it's this sense of like, just, you know, getting so caught up in our own side and wanting more objectivity in the media and more, maybe both sides, or just, let's just talk about what the news is, not interject opinion.
Okay. Anything else before we finish this part up? So we're going to take a break soon. Next.